Okay, today is a video that I've been more excited to develop and show you than almost any other ones. I thought I was onto something new. It was going to be too easy to propagate blueberries, and I love my blueberries and I want to get some more plants. And so, long story short, I was pruning my blueberries on New Year's Eve, and someone had said, just throw them in a ditch, bury them, and they'll grow. And I thought, well, can't hurt to give it a try. So I did. I just buried them, and it looked like they were growing. The stems came up, the plant was growing maybe 8 inches, 10 inches maybe in some cases. I had 20 little plants coming up that I thought I was going to transplant. So 11 months later, or actually 10 months later, but the end of October, I tried to transplant them. When I dug them up, there was no roots. I couldn't figure out how did they survive a long hot summer. The plants kept growing and there's literally no roots. I dug up about 20 plants, found roots on maybe 2 of them. So if you're someone that's good at propagating plants and maybe have an idea on how they lived this long without roots and things to do better, please put some comments in there, let me know, and I'll continue to learn with you. Okay, I got the old woody stalk, years old, not supposed to be worth anything, but I do have a hole in the ground, so might as well stick this in and see what happens. I'll just throw an inch of dirt over it, see what happens next spring. Okay, well, here we have a hodgepodge of branches of Chandler blueberry. I have them sticking up high and some down low. And as I bury this, some of this is going to continue to have branches sticking out. Some is going to be buried a couple inches deep. Some of it will be about an inch deep, which is what I think is actually really recommended. And then here we are in the middle of June and I'm getting excited. This is actually going to work. Okay, here's our first attempt at digging these up. I honestly have no idea what I'm going to find. But what I have noticed is here's the blueberry branch that was sticking across here, and it runs across here, so I have a couple stems coming across that. So I'm thinking the branches that were very close to the surface were the best. I actually had multiple more plants coming up here, but I drugged the hose across it and broke those off. Actually my best plants, so I'm pretty mad at myself. So I'm going to gently, and this is not very good soil, so I don't know what's going to happen here, but I'm going to gently try to dig in here and see where roots are actually at. Backing up here, let's see what we can find. Ooh. I honestly don't even see any root on this entire plant. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this entire thing, I'm going to put it in a better rooting medium, and I'm going to take this entire thing up to my garden where I can take better care of it and bury this again. Obviously something is keeping it alive. I think the moisture just getting in this amount of branch has kept it alive, and eventually it's going to put out some roots. I didn't scrape any of the bark, I didn't put any rooting hormone on, I just literally buried the branches. Okay, an honest moment here. I have no idea what's going on. I went to create this video with great excitement. I thought I had something new that I wasn't seeing anybody else doing, and it was going to work great. The leaves were growing up everywhere, and then I had one plant that I could find any roots on. This one I'm going to plant in a pot with potting soil. It'll grow in that all next summer. Then I can transplant it to the edge of my yard. But the rest of these, which had great leaves, and they still have all the leaves on them, came up with literally no roots. I planted these, as I said, New Year's Eve last year. It's October 28th right now. So it's gone all summer long. It was growing. It had nutrients. I'm assuming it was just in the amount of bark that it had, or the amount of wood. It was just drawing from that. But somehow it was getting moisture. I did keep the ground moist, but how it's still alive, I have no idea. I'm a little disappointed that I didn't have roots and I'm just going to have a bunch of plants taking off next year, but I am excited and that I'm learning something new, seeing something new, and maybe you can help tell me how this happened the way it did.